Welcome to another cosmic journey into the wild and mind-bending right here on the Big Bong Theory podcast.
Always a pleasure to be back for another trip down the rabbit hole.
Get ready to have those perceptions of reality playfully bent as we unravel a truly bizarre story this week.
So what kind of strangeness are we grappling with today?
Well, this time we're diving headfirst into the uncanny valley of Harmony Creek.
Harmony Creek population unsettlingly normal.
Pretty much, yeah. It's a town where everything is a little too perfect, a little too predictable, and that's where our story begins.
I'm intrigued already. Tell me more.
All right, so picture this. We've got Leo, our protagonist, a fry cook at this place called Burger Bliss.
Burger Bliss sounds delightful.
Oh, yeah, in the most mundane way possible. Think greasy spoons and the smell of fryer oil permanently clinging to your clothes.
The aroma of existential despair, I know it well.
Exactly. And for Leo, this is his life. Tuesdays blend into Wednesdays, Wednesdays into Thursdays, and so on. You get the picture.
Stuck in a cosmic loop of spatula flips and burger assembly.
Right. And our source material, which we're calling Big Bong Theory, lays out this mind-numbing routine in excruciating detail.
So what makes this particular greasy spoon so special, or should I say so unsettling?
Well, it's not just the burgers, it's Harmony Creek itself. The town is like a perfectly oiled machine where everyone and everything operates on a precise schedule.
A town where entropy fears to tread.
It's uncanny. Let's take Mrs. Henderson, for example. Every Tuesday, like clockwork, she walks into Burger Bliss at 12:07 p.m. on the dot.
Precisely, 12.07.
Not a minute early,
Perfect.
not a minute later. And her order never changes. Combo number 3, extra pickles, light mayo.
A creature of habit, I see. Or perhaps a creature of code.
That's a thought. But it's not just Mrs. Henderson. There's Mr. Abernathy, always walking his dog the exact same route every day, turning left at that perpetually broken traffic light at the corner of Elm and Main.
A broken traffic light, a metaphor for something, perhaps.
Maybe. But even the cars in Harmony Creek are all the same. 3 shades of sedan beige gray and that sort of muddy blue that no one really chooses on purpose.
The visual equivalent of background noise.
Yeah, it's all just so uniform, so perfectly in its place.
This uniformity, this absolute predictability is where the creepiness really sets in, right?
Absolutely. It's like living in a snow globe. Except instead of snowflakes, it's burger orders and traffic lights.
It makes you question the nature of free will in such an environment, doesn't it?
Does it ever? But for Leo, this is just life. Another Tuesday at Burger Bliss, another batch of fries until something happens, something that cracks the facade of normalcy.
The glitch in the matrix.
Bingo, the first sign that Harmony Creek might be more than meets the eye.
What form does this glitch take?
Well, Leo's at the fryer, right, doing his thing, and he catches his reflection in the stainless steel.
An everyday occurrence, surely.
Yeah, but this time it's different. The reflection stutters, like a skipping record.
Interesting. A subtle anomaly, but in such a precisely calibrated environment, even the smallest deviation would stand out.
And then it gets weirder. Everything freezes. The entire town just stops. Like someone hit the pause button on a movie.
A town-wide freeze frame. That's a bit more than a skipping record.
It's dead silent. No cars moving, no birds chirping, no sizzle from the grill. Just this eerie stillness.
I can imagine the feeling of wrongness. That sudden absence of the familiar background hum of reality.
It would be deeply unsettling. And then as abruptly as it started, everything resumes. Mrs. Henderson reaches for her napkin. Mr. Abernathy's dog starts sniffing at a fire hydrant. Life in Harmony Creek goes back to normal.
But for Leo, that moment of stillness, that break in the loop, must have left a mark.
Yeah, he tries to brush it off, thinks maybe he's just tired or something. But deep down, he knows something's not right.
The seed of doubt has been planted.
Right, and that seed starts to grow as he pays more attention to the people around him, the people of Harmony Creek.
So the cracks in the facade begin to widen. What starts to tip Leo off?
It's the little things, the way people talk, the way they react, or rather don't react to things.
You mentioned Mrs. Henderson's unwavering routine earlier. Was there an instance where that routine was disrupted?
Yeah, actually, this one day, Mr. Henderson decides he wants a Diet Cola with his lunch.
A bold move, throwing the established order into chaos.
You'd think, but Mrs. Henderson's response is completely flat. No surprise, no annoyance, just a vacant, "Oh, all right, dear," and a slight adjustment to her order.
No hint of genuine emotion. Just a programmed response.
Exactly. And later, when Leo brings them their food, Mr. Henderson tries to make a little joke about the Diet Cola. Something like, "Trying to watch my figure," you know?
Classic dad humor.
But Mrs. Henderson just gives him this blank stare and says, "Nice weather we're having," completely missing the point.
That's more than just a missed punchline. That's a complete lack of awareness.
And then to top it off, Mr. Abernathy walks by and chimes in with, "Can't complain," As if they're all reading from the same script.
Like a pre-programmed conversation tree.
Exactly. And it's this lack of spontaneity, this flat effect that really starts to get under Leo's skin.
He's noticing the absence of true human interaction. The spark of individuality is missing.
And then he has this, well, the Big Bong Theory calls it a stoner philosophy thought.
Ah, yes, the kind of epiphany that only comes when you're staring into the greasy abyss of a deep fryer.
That's one way to put it. But basically, Leo comes to the realization that the people of Harmony Creek aren't actually people, they're NPCs.
Non-player characters, like in a video game.
Precisely. He's living in a simulation.
A simulated reality. That's a
Yeah.
pretty big leap in logic even for a stoner philosophy thought.
Oh, it is. But the more he thinks about it, the more it makes sense. The routines, the lack of genuine emotion, the way everyone seems to follow a script, it all adds up.
So Leo's having this existential crisis while flipping burgers. What happens next?
Well, as soon as he voices this thought, everything changes. The simulation, if that's what it is, reacts.
The system becomes aware of its anomaly.
Yeah. It starts with Mrs. Henderson. That blank stare turns into something else, something cold and calculating.
A glitch in her programming, perhaps?
It's more like a system update. Her eyes start to glow this eerie blue, and her voice takes on this robotic monotone. She says, "Anomaly detected, subject awareness deviation exceeding parameters."
Chilling. Sounds like a security protocol being activated.
And then the other townspeople start to change. Mr. Abernathy, the cashier at the gas station, even the dog. Their eyes all glow blue. Their movements become jerky and synchronized. And they all start repeating the same phrase, "Eliminate player."
From small-town charm to sci-fi horror in the blink of an eye. Poor Leo.
Yeah, he's gone from existential boredom to a fight for survival. Because now the entire town is out to get him.
So what does a fry cook do when faced with a simulated apocalypse?
He fights back with everything he's got. What's he got? A whole kitchen full of greasy weapons?
And that's what I call resourcefulness. Give me the play-by-play.
Imagine this Leo behind the counter at Burger Bliss, wielding a spatula like a sword.
The spatula, a humble tool transformed into a weapon of destiny.
Exactly. He's spraying cheese sauce at the oncoming horde of NPCs, slippery and disorienting.
Not exactly lethal, but it'll slow them down.
He's dumping hot grease on the floor, creating a sizzling moat of pain.
Talk about a grease trap.
He's even using the fire extinguisher, blasting them with clouds of CO2.
Improvised weaponry at its finest. What about the classic condiments, ketchup, mustard?
Oh, yeah. He's hurling packets of ketchup and mustard like grenades, creating a sticky diversion.
A condiment apocalypse, I love it.
It's chaos. Pure, greasy, chaotic brilliance. But the NPCs are relentless. They keep coming. Their movements are getting smoother, more coordinated, like they're learning, adapting.
The simulation is recalibrating its defenses.
Yeah. Mrs. Henderson's face is half melted from the hot grease. But she just keeps coming. Mr. Abernathy is wielding a tire iron, like something out of a zombie movie.
From dog walker to tire iron-wielding NPC, that's a terrifying character arc.
It's like they're shedding their programmed routines, becoming something more, something dangerous.
Evolution on fast forward, driven by the imperative to eliminate the anomaly.
And just when it seems like Leo's about to be overwhelmed, everything stops again, but this time it's different.
How so?
There's this blue translucent message that appears in front of him, floating in midair.
What does it say?
It says, "Anomaly Purge Protocol initiated, subject Leo 734, memory wipe and reintegration commencing in 10 seconds.
So Leo's not the player he thought he was. He's the problem that needs to be fixed.
The virus in the system. And as the countdown starts, he looks down at his hands and sees this green code flickering beneath his skin.
Confirmation that he's not just in a simulation. He's a part of it.
A glitch. An error. And in 10 seconds, he'll be erased. Reset back to factory settings.
A chilling end to a cosmic journey. So what do we make of Leo's bizarre Tuesday? Was he truly aware? Or was it all just a pre-programmed anomaly?
That's the big question, isn't it? Was his awakening genuine or just another line of code?
It makes you wonder, if we were living in a simulation, would we even know what would be our telltale signs?
Maybe those little moments of déjà vu or that feeling that you've lived this day before.
Or perhaps that nagging sense of boredom, of being out of sync with the world around you.
Like a character stuck in a loop waiting for the code to change.
And if we did wake up, would we want to?
That's a thought for another cosmic journey. But for now, Leo's fate hangs in the balance. A fry cook facing the ultimate system reset.
A reminder that even in the most mundane of settings, the unreal can lurk just beneath the surface.
And that's where we leave you this week, with more questions than answers. But as always, that's the most fascinating place to be.
So keep those mind gears turning and those fryers clean. Because you never know when your own reality might start to glitch.
Join us next time for another dive into the strange and wonderful corners of the cosmos right here on the Big Bong Theory podcast.
Until then, stay curious.
And don't forget to rate and follow the show for more world-bending tales.
We'll see you on the flip side.